My name is Rafael, you're watching Rock and Roll Garage, and today we're going to talk about the connection between John Lennon, the Dakota Building, and Rosemary's Baby. But first, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave your comment. Well, the connection is quite simple. Dakota Building served as the external location for Rosemary's Baby, the classic horror movie directed by Roman Polanski, and it was the same place where John Lennon lived from 1973 until 1980 when he was murdered by Mark J. Chapman. But there's a lot of interesting stuff about it, and also I'm going to talk about some of the famous residents that building also had, because a lot of stars lived there, and you're not going to believe who were some of them. But first, let's start by the building's history. It was built from 1880 until 1884. So when John Lennon moved there, he had almost 100 years old, and it was designed by Henry Janeway Hardenberg, and it was made in the German Renaissance style, and it was built for the businessman Edward Calvert Clark. It was one of the largest developments on the Upper West Side of New York City, and today is the oldest remaining luxury apartment building in New York City. And Ira Levin is the author of the book Rosemary's Baby, which inspired Roman Polanski's movie. On the novel, in the novel, Ira Levin, the author, describes a building called Bramford. However, there's a part of the story where the character Hutch even urges Rosemary, which was portrayed in the movie by Mia Farrow, and a guide to moving to the Dakota instead of the Bramford building. So the Dakota building is mentioned in Ira Levin's book, and it served as since the Bramford building doesn't exist, it was the Dakota building was used as the external part of the building where Rosemary was living in the Roman Polanski movie. And the interesting thing is that it appeared on several other movies as well, but it was on August 21, 1967 that it was when the Dakota's exteriors served as the location for the fictional Bramford building for the Roman Polanski movie. And the interesting thing is that, it served as a location of one of the biggest horror movie classics of all time. And if you haven't seen the movie, it shows a woman who moves into a building, and then she later discovers that there's actually a satanic cult living there, and they're her neighbors. And a lot of weird stuff started to happen. It's an incredible book. I read the book already, and an incredible movie as well. And the history of that building has a lot of ghost stories, a lot of weird stuff that happened there. Besides, obviously, you write a book like that, and a few years ago, the book is from the late 60s, and the movie is from the late 60s as well. And a few years later, John Lennon moves there, and a few years later, he's tragically murdered just outside that building. It's a really, really, unbelievable connection. And there's a lot of other interesting stuff, and a lot of really famous people live there. I'm going to show you right now some of them. And the interesting thing is that Yoko Ono continued to live there even after Lennon's after Lennon was killed outside there in 1980 at the age of 40. And some of the other famous people who live there, and some of them are even musicians. Lauren Bacall, famous Hollywood actress, she lived there. Walter Becker, a songwriter, musician, and co-founder of Steely Dan, he lived there as well. Leonard Bernstein, composer and conductor, he also lived there. Rosemary Clooney, singer and actress, who was George Clooney's grandmother. She lived there. Judy Garland, the actress, famous actress. Boris Karloff, the famous actor who was the mummy and the Frankenstein's monster on those first Universal horror movies and many other incredible horror movies. He's a legend. He lived there. John Madden, the American football coach and commentator, who named even the video game after him, the EA Sports American football video game. It was made in NHL, right? If I'm mistaken, I'm sorry. I'm from Brazil. I'm not sure about the NHL, NFL, NFL, right? It's NFL. I'm sorry for that. I prefer what the Americans call soccer. So I'm not really into American football. Besides John Madden, Rosie O'Donnell, the actress, also lived there. Jack Palance, other famous actor, lived there as well. And you know, this is insane. Paul Simon lived there as well. So, and you know, the list is quite long. I only selected a few of them. So the Dakota Building in New York City, there's a lot of history there. You know, it's not just the place where John Lennon was killed. There's a lot of other interesting stuff that happened there. And that's it. I hope you liked the video. Please leave your comment. Tell me what you think, if you knew this or not. Don't forget to like the video, leave your comment, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. And visit rockandrollgarage.com. Okay? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.